Hey guys, Brian here and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, while I am doing a quick little cardio session of full incline walking, just to burn a little fat because I'm getting a little chubby here, let's talk about selling options, side hustles, all of that stuff, because recently I've been selling options. As you guys know, I've been doing really well. Obviously, November was a tough month, but we are closing it out, and it'll actually be like a negative month. I'll probably be down like negative like 5K, which sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but to be honest, it's not bad because I still made a lot of premiums, but I did close out a lot of plays. But the portfolio is sitting at 273,000 as we speak right now. We'll see how the market reacts tomorrow. I have a feeling we'll be a little stagnant, but we will see. And the thing is, people also know that I started like watch trading, right? And the question is that I get often, because people see my YouTube, they see that I do both. They see my Instagram, they see I do both. They're like, why do you even, I guess the question is, when you're so good at selling options, why do you do other things? And to be honest, I feel like I'm doing side quests right now where I'm trying out other things. And I know in a previous video, like a while ago, is I was telling myself that I believe I'm being spread too thin. I'm spreading myself too thin, whereas I'm not putting my all into something, and that will hinder the growth of the selling options. And that is true. That is true. That's why I want to like completely get out of real estate. I will be putting up the second home for sale at some point. Sadly, I did have to raise the rent because my property tax over there went up, so I had to raise the rent up a little bit. It wasn't a lot, but a little bit. So we'll see. And I eventually do want to sell that property, get out of there, and eventually both properties will be fully sold, and there'll be like $200,000 that I could use in my brokerage account, right? Or towards any other venture. And that is a big chunk of change where I could put this $273,000 portfolio right underneath like 500,000, or I could do what I wanted to do before and maybe even throw a big chunk of it, like half of it, towards my primary mortgage, knock down that, and pretty much only have a little bit over $200,000 left in that mortgage, and I could pay that off super fast as well. Because again, I want to buy my freedom back, and my freedom is, in my eyes right now, this mortgage where I'm living, because it would be nice to have full paychecks from everything that I do to go straight into my pocket and not being throwing like a big chunk of it out towards my mortgage. So then I talk about, again, some people ask me, why do I start dealing watches? And to be honest, this was my first like really good profitable month. It was a $2,000 profitable month in doing so, and just like trading watches. And from learning from it, like, if those have been following me on like Instagram, I was just getting rid of like, I was trading vintage Omegas and vintage watches in general. And when I started noticing and started going by the teachings of Watch Trading Academy, the WTA group that you see all the time on Instagram and Facebook, it's actually a pretty good course. I only did 1 and 2. Right now, I don't think you need to do further than that, or just because I have a business mindset, I think I was able to get to where I am right now with it, and just the way I network, but like that's side story. First profitable month, 2K, right? Do I think I could do this every time? I don't know. That's the hard part, right? I need to find clients that will consistently buy watches. I need to use all the platforms, Poshmark, eBay, Chrono24, Grailsy, bezel. I need to use all of those to make like watch trading like a legit business. And obviously it's very capital intensive. So when people ask me like, why do I do it? It's just so I could wear something nice from time to time. Like, I get a few watches, I could wear it a little bit as long as I keep it very, very clean, very kept and protected. Then I could sell it a few weeks later, a few days later. So that's one of the main reasons. And then the next question is like, is the money worth it? Right now, for me, like 2K is not a lot. It's not a lot of money compared to what I'm making in the stock market, right? So, and that is putting a decent amount of capital out to do so. Like if I'm putting out 3, 4, 5 grand and I'm only making $200 to $500, that's anywhere from like 4% to 10%, right? And that 4% to 10%, yeah, is good on paper because I could probably get rid of the watch in 1, 2, 3 months if it's a good watch. But that same amount of money, if I did that in stock options, selling options, I could have made that in a month. So again, is the money worth it? The money's good for where I'm at as a beginner in doing it, but is it worth it in comparison to selling options? No, I could make tons more selling options doing this. But what is the reason why I'm doing it? So if I could gather the clientele, I could do this as, show myself that I could do this as like a full business. I will do like full LLC, full business mode, and then I could use it as another vehicle for me to like write off things for business expenses and do better, just do better overall with the tax code, because when you get an LLC, when you get a business, you get a little bit better tax advantages, right? But I personally don't want to LLC something until I could prove that I could actually do this and commit to it like for a year or so. Because to be honest, I think just like everyone else that started this type of like movement, I made a lot of mistakes because I was definitely down a little bit, and I'm breaking even on a lot of other watches because I thought they were good buys, but it just really isn't. I was just buying things I liked instead of going by what the teachings were or by what people are just looking for in general. And that's the salesy part that I personally don't have. Like, I just like to doing things that I like to do because that's how I've always done things in general, right? And that seemed to work out for me. But when you come to a salesy type of business or something like that, you have to go to what people want, not just what you want. And that was hard for me to understand and to go towards, because I've never just done or bought things because that's what everyone else liked. So right now, what I would like, the comparison is like people like Rolexes, people like Cartiers, those are like the big things, APs. So those are the things that I should have went and dove right into. But instead I went for like vintage pieces where, yeah, in the beginning, I made some money because people like vintage stuff. People like quote unquote cheaper watches that look nice, but are good brands. But that kind of clientele dries up really quick. So I'll probably take some L's on that, but going towards the future, if I want to continue doing this at the scale, right, I'm going to have to go into the bigger name watches, the Rolexes, the Cartiers, newer Omegas, maybe even APs, Pateks, and just go from there and make moves on that end of the side. Go after the things that people want in general, and that will help me get more clientele. That will help me get more sales, and that's something I'm just learning through YouTube, through selling more and more watches, through Watch Trading Academy. And I know I'm not like sponsored by them or anything, but their program was actually really good for 1 and 2. They teach you a lot. I don't have 3, I don't have any of the other coaching stuff. I just have those, and I feel like I'm doing really well. And depending on if I feel like I need it, I'll join those. But as of right now, I think I'm doing just fine with the way that I'm scaling, the way I'm moving. And once I could get rid of the rest of my inventory over here, that used to be filled, all those that used to be filled, I have another box right there full of watches, like I guess 8 watches left. If I could get rid of those, that's another like $2-ish grand worth of watches that I could put towards 1 or 2 bigger named watches, and I won't have to flip 10 watches a month to make like 2K. I can maybe just flip 2 or 3 watches to make 2K. You know, that's the thing that I'm looking at. So I know this was like videos all over the place, but I just want to talk about like the business aspect of why I'm not only just selling options, but I'm also doing other business ventures. And I don't want this to be like strictly a selling options channel, even though that's like my bread and butter. I want to show that you could do things with the premiums that you are making. You can pull them out, save some from taxes, but you should be able to start that business venture. You should be able to live off this a little bit. You should be able to afford things for the holidays. This is that extra income that we are looking for. The extra income in the stock market that we need, right? Just don't focus on your W-2 job or whatever job you have. Now you have this extra income stream that could potentially help you start another income stream. And that's what I was getting at. That's what I want to get at. But my mind just wanders when I'm doing stuff like this. So again, loving everything that is going on. If you want to check out the free Discord, it is in the links down below. If you want to start up a brokerage account, I got Moomoo, I have SoFi, I have Robinhood, links down below. And all of you guys know I am a crypto enthusiast. So if you want to get into that, I also have a Gemini link down below. Those are all free money. If you just deposit money and start investing, you get like free stocks, you get free Bitcoin, whatever it may be. Highly suggest that you guys do that, because that is, again, free money. Check out the Discord. There is a premium side, cheapest one you'll ever find. And if you want to learn how to do options, I do have a really cheap course in the description down below. And if you use code 36 by the end of the year, 36, just the number 36, you'll get 36% off of the course. So check those out. Sorry for all the rambling. This is just what I do late at night when I'm just like walking on the treadmill. All these thoughts go through my head. So I was like, might as well record it. So again, long video. Thanks for watching. See you guys very, very soon. Peace.